Hello and welcome to another Tales from a Professional Nerd. My name is BryanCPSteele and I will be your nerd today and any other day that you watch one of my silly little shows. Hi everybody, it's a wonderful, weird week. So we're going to hop right into it. Today we're going to do the Week in Bryan relatively quickly. Hobbying wise, I've done some painting, that's about it. Gaming, I managed to played some Magic. I got to win a 4-person commander game with my Tiamat deck. Made me very happy, especially considering one of the people at the table. We love him to death. He is one of our besties from a long time ago, and he is very, very, very big into Magic. And we play Commander for fun. To just kind of have a good time, laugh, enjoy, spend a few hours together. And Oz is not intentionally frustrating. I don't think he does it on purpose. He builds decks that are based around the age-old Magic the Gathering combo style play, which means you get this card to do this card to, he's a very mathematic. He wants this deck will have a trick, and if the trick works, then everything comes together, and it's an insane set of circumstances. But unfortunately, for a lot of us that are just kind of playing to have a good time and just have fun and whatever, it's very frustrating when his deck gets to do what it does. The rest of the game kind of comes screeching to a halt, and then it becomes a foregone conclusion that, well, he's going to beat us. Like, he's won. Should we just stop and play? But it kind of goes against our nature to throw in the towel just because his deck did what it's supposed to do, so you end up playing it for a longer amount of time, even though it's frustrating uphill climb. Well, that being said, we played a couple of games, and the second game, my Tiamat deck came together and worked like it was supposed to do, and made the things that it needed to make, and I ended up beating him. I ended up winning the table, which is it's a feather in my cap. No feathers in this cap, but you know what I mean. So that was cool, and then we had a Strange Hollow playtest session last night that pitted us up against a trio of swamp dragons. Swamp dragons, they're not exactly dragons in the way that, fly and breathe fire and stuff. They're more kind of like Komodo dragons in a fantasy style. And they were really hard. They were really, really rough. We're a group of 5th level characters, and if it wasn't for the fact that one of our party members was a healing machine, who isn't normally that way, so it was kind of nice to find out that our druid is very capable of being a healing monster when need be. When the need arises, and so that was cool. It was nice to. It was a tough fight. It was a challenging fight. There were several times that I don't think any of us actually dropped. Any of us actually went to 0 hit points. But I know I got down to 2 at one point, and was being currently constricted by a swamp dragon. So it was hectic and cool, and it was a fun session. So we had one of those, I got to play some Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 with my buddy. Just a really good, fun game that I won't say hasn't changed, because they've done some modifications and some updates and stuff to it, but the core concept and the feel of the game hasn't changed in 10 years. So it's real easy to kind of fall immediately back into getting into that game and enjoying the goofiness. Let's see. That was hobby. That was gaming. We're gonna do work stuff. Work stuff has been very good. Not only are we officially starting to put stuff together for the Thundercats project, but I managed to put cross a couple of things off the list. You know, the list of things that are kind of looming overhead. I managed to I've gotten some upcoming release lore documents done for Warzone Eternal. I have added more stuff to the Infinite Stories library. I managed to, I think, do all of the tweaks and changes and kind of like revision type stuff to the card game that I was working on with another company, and I am looking at doing a little more Xeogenesis stuff, and it's just been a very prolific week. Combine that with the fact that we've had a major cool breakthrough, which I get to playtest this weekend for some Intergalactic Heroes stuff, and the World of Drashar adventure seems like it's coming together. I've got some revision notes I got to take a look at, but yeah, just an all around. It's just been an all around very good week from the perspective of work stuff. More on that later. You know, some of the things that I can't really talk about yet, but it's been real good. A little bit, one extra note about Warzone Eternal. We believe I've got a meeting with Alex. I would say I'm filming this, so I've got the meeting tomorrow. But there is a very distinct possibility that GameQuest will have picked up the final pallets and got them start to do their distribution wonderfulness. And that means that Alex and I are within percentage points of being done with the Kickstarter fulfillment. That is such a massive weight off of our shoulders creatively. It's early here. But it's such a weight off our shoulders, and it lets us really focus on the next stage in the game's longevity and the game's creation, and the game's future, and that's starting to get out new releases, getting our retail stuff up and running, and making some really cool announcements about the future of Warzone. So we are down to the absolute wire before everybody will have been taken care of in some capacity, and then we can start the process of opening the doors a little wider and getting out some more stuff and getting out the original stuff to new people. And it's just this is a good time. This is a good time for everything in Warzone, like the decisions that are being made, the alterations to the process that are being made, the just everything that we're doing when it comes to this collective team is to try and make the best damn game and the coolest models and get them out to the most fans that we can in the best way that we can. Just know that all the conversations and meetings and things that we're doing are bending toward that future. So yay! All right, so you'll note that I changed things up. Normally, I start with personal. I did not do that today because this week has been very up and down personal-wise, very weird. I'm gonna start with the positive. Normally I would do bad news first. I want to start with the positive because I want to. So one of my best friends in the whole wide world, I've known him at this point way longer than I haven't. We have been through ups, downs, lefts, rights, about every kind of drama and stress that you can think of. He has lived with me at multiple houses. He's been my roommate. He was my best man at one of my weddings. Just literally on many occasions, the wind beneath my wings. had been diagnosed with colon cancer a little over a month ago. Luckily, they caught it very, very early, and they believed that they could take care of it. One surgery, get it in, get it out. Well, earlier this week, he had that surgery and seemingly came through with flying colors. It was a big weight on my shoulders. He is no longer. He's not too far away from me, but he's not local enough that I can just drop everything and go to him immediately. But I am going to go down later tonight to see him in recovery. He's still in the hospital, but it's mostly because, when they rearrange your guts like that, you've got to take it easy for a few days, and they want to keep track, make sure that everything's cool, make sure there's no infections, and like that. It's a big deal. But on the positive side of things, the doctors believe that they caught it early enough, they got it out, and they're going to obviously run a bunch of tests to make sure that, everything's fine. And, there's never an easy way to be like, oh, hey, by the way, you've got a cancer and we're going to hopefully take it all out. It's a scary thing, but I do believe that he's going to be fine. And the doctor says that he did great in the surgery. He's in recovery now, and like I said, I'm going to get to see him later tonight. So that is my positive thumbs up, and sending out all of the happy thoughts. Speaking of him and happy thoughts, I haven't put it together just yet. Maybe I will do that before. Maybe I'll even do that before this video goes live, and I'll put it in the description. You know what? I will make sure that I get it set up before that happens. But I will put it together. I want to put together a GoFundMe. He has a dog. He has a very energetic dog. And when you have abdominal surgery, for the next couple of weeks, he's going to need to really, really take it easy. And that lovely, lovely dog of his is going to make it very difficult to do so. Meaning that he is probably going to need to either have people come over and help, or board the poor little monster at his vet's, or find something. It's going to be an expensive process no matter what. And I do believe that I want to I'm going to set up a GoFundMe to try and just raise a couple of $1,000 to help him out during his recovery, to make sure that his dog is well taken care of, and that he doesn't hurt himself trying to do these things himself. That is the key as far as I'm concerned. So please, if you are feeling even remotely charitable and you want to help out my buddy, be able to take care of his dog while he's on the mend, click on the link in the description and do what you can. In a worst case scenario, share it to your friends and let them know. It's not going to be a titanic amount of money. But it is something that I am not currently in the means to just be able to handle for him, and I don't want him to have to do this on his own while he is on the mend. Okay, so now that I've gotten the good news out of the way, I have a bit of bad news as well. So earlier this week, one of the people who I played D&D sporadically with, I've mentioned my Drow Noble that I play in a long-standing homebrew D&D game with my friends down in Indianapolis. One of the games that we had scheduled just recently had to be canceled, and that happens all the time. But in this particular instance, the person letting us know that one of the members of that game, one of our friends, died in a car accident. It was obviously unexpected. No one expects a car accident. It was a very interesting email to get. And while I did not know Rich as well as anyone else in the game, honestly, I've known him for a while, and it is still kind of it's a shock. It's very weird, and it's a tragedy for his family, and it is definitely it is absolutely a tragedy for our we have mutual friends that have known him much longer. I mean, he was honestly one of my close friends. He was one of Carlos's best friends, and they've known each other for 40 some odd years. An untimely death is never expect, never it's something you can just have. It'd be like, oh, okay, that happens. But it's hard. It is hard to know that this happened. The only time I really got to see Rich was at D&D games, and occasionally at like one of Carlos's parties or something. And while we were not terribly close, I definitely consider him a friend, and it's a loss. It's an unexpected loss, and perhaps it hasn't really set in yet, because this was just a couple of days ago. But it has definitely put a very interesting like God, I'm at a loss for words. I'm a writer and I'm lost for words. It has put a strange pall over everything. It has made me reach out to a handful of friends that are potentially distant, or acquaintances, and just basically say, hey, how you doing? And it has made me possibly, I won't say paranoid. That's not right. It's not paranoid. I'm more anxious about my son, who is a new driver, out there on the road, and I've had some pretty gnarly dreams about stuff that could happen, both to my son or to myself or to my wife. It is an extremely sobering thought, that cars can be as dangerous as they are. And I know Rich, and he was not an irresponsible person. In fact, he was one of the more responsible people in our circle of friends. So I don't know the specifics of the car accident, but I know in my heart of hearts that it had to have been simply an accident, a mistiming or something. But again, I don't want to speculate. I don't want to even spend too much time dwelling on the circumstances, because it will creep into my subconscious and end up in more dreams and things, and I don't want that to happen. But I guess, when I close out these videos, I often say, be safe, get your shots and things. When part of that be safe is, drive careful. It is better to be there 5 minutes late than not at all. It's a weird world out there, and you never know what's going to happen. But yeah. So I just want to kind of say, out there to everybody, take care of yourselves, take care of your loved ones. Hug if you've got somebody who's about ready to walk out the door, give them a hug. Tell them that you love them. If it's a buddy that you might not see but once a couple of months, just make sure you always leave on good terms, to the best of your ability, because it could be the last time sometimes. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break. We will be right back with the unboxing of the reason why you clicked on this thumbnail. Thanks for bearing with me through the weekend, Bryan. Okay, everybody, and we're back, and we are ready to do the unboxing of Battletech Gothic. Okay, so when they announced this, I'll read the back of the box here in a minute. To fight the glare, I'm going to go ahead and take the cellophane off, just to show that I am actually unboxing this, that I have not opened this, apart from what Randall and John showed me at Gen Con. I have very little experience with this product. So we will take a look at this, but I want to look. It is fully unwrapped. Ta-da! For the first time ever. So a few months ago, the guys at Catalyst put up a bunch of pictures and basically did a preview of this product, and it got mixed reviews. Some people were like, why would you do weird Elseworlds Battletech? Why would you have Battletech Pacific Rim? Why? And then there were other people that were like, man, those are kind of interesting models. Are they going to be compatible? Is this a whole brand new line? And from what I understand, and from what the guys have told me, is that it is a potential line of products, but right now it is really just the box set, to show off an alternate Battletech universe. Basically, as now I'll read the back of the back of the box description. It is a, if you could set the stage differently for the Battletech, so instead of it being the Kerensky and everybody leaving for the clans, and instead of the all the lore and the history and the 30 some odd years worth of background, this is a new story that uses the same artistic feel, the same they built they built battle mechs to fight their wars. But why is that? That's what this is. This is an alternate universe. So when you are listening to what we do when we unbox this, keep that in mind, that this is not the standard Battletech universe. This is not all of the stuff that you knew, apart from the technologies involved. Set that aside. Because the Endless War. It is the dawn of the 4th millennium. The Endless War, sparked by the death of humanity's golden age, rages on. Towering over the battlefields of the human sphere are the lumbering, fusion-powered titans of armor and weapons known as battle mechs. Weighing anywhere from 20 to 100 tons, each mech carries enough firepower to level a city block in minutes. But they are also not alone, for abominations, capital A, vicious hybrid monsters of flesh and steel, also lurk beneath the ash-choked skies of the worlds they fight to claim. Battletech Gothic brings the Endless War to life on your tabletop. Inside this box, you'll discover a dark realm of mechs and monsters locked in a battle for survival and supremacy across the war-torn remnants of the human sphere. With miniatures, maps, and thrilling lore, discover the Battletech universe as you've never seen it before. Gothic is the first themed box release in the Battletech Continuum, which explores alternate settings. This is a complete standalone game experience. All right. So let's open her up. So first off, it's got a piece of art that shows a heavily modified Atlas and a heavily modified Marauder fighting. Looks like, what's funny is the creatures, the abominations, they're covered up by the title bar, so I can't see what they look like. All right, let's get this beast open. All right, so. Oh, that's not going to help us any. Put a little further back. There we go. All right, just at the top of the box, we have, first off, we have a map. And on this map, ooh, it smells like brand new product. Whew. That's not a bad smell, it's a weird smell. All right, so we've got a battle map, two-sided battle map. It's hex-based. Every hex is labeled as to what kind of terrain and stuff it is. So in this top one, it just looks kind of like a city, kind of like a city block. It's got buildings and streets and a little park. And on the other side, we have kind of more of a war-torn battlefield with fires raging, some trenches, and a river. Always a fan of good maps. All right, now I gotta remember how to fold this back up. I'm a fan of maps. I'm bad at folding. Is that gonna work? Is that how this works? No. Is that... Am I doing this right? All right, I did it. I did it. All right. Right at the top of the next part of the box, we have a shrink-wrapped thing. We have a shrink-wrapped record sheets. Oh, okay, so these are the Battletech record sheets. Let me get this open without damaging the product. Because these feel like they are actually like paper, not cardboard. Oops, yeah, that was helpful. Good job, Bryan. I don't know if you saw what I did there, but I cut open the cellophane and then literally just pulled off the piece that was cut, but nothing else. All right. So we have a painful version of getting this open. All right. All right, here we go. So there's a lot of sheets in this little packet, so I'm going to be careful. So they are paper, but they are glossy paper. I don't know whether... So they are glossy. I don't know whether or not they're going to be dry erase available. Like, they feel like they might be. Like, you might be able to dry erase on them. Well, you know what? There is one way to find out. I have dry erase markers. Actually, I have wet erase markers. Let's not. But, all right, so here in the thing, well, let's go from the top. The top of this, these are Abomination record sheets. The Abomination record sheets, we've got the Gnat Abomination, the Werebeast Abomination, the Devil Abomination, the Cricket Abomination, and the Rampager Abomination, all on this page. Oh, and there's more on the back. And there's more on the back. Okay, so there's a bunch here. And it looks like the way that they're set up, the Abominations... Oh, the glare is going to get you. I might actually have to turn my light off for that. Okay, that helps. They're set up with like damage bars rather than hit locations, so they're almost like elementals, like groups of infantry on a single thing. And so they've got mob attacks, hobble attacks. Yeah, so the little abominations, these abominations anyway, seem to be like they are like squads of infantry kind of thing. And weapon-wise, I mean, so looking at them, they're set up like a Battletech sheet. You know, they've got damage, short, medium, and long. Yeah, they're set up just like that. On the back, we've got more of the same. Yeah, cool. All right, so this is basically the record sheet. So on the side here, that this corner, this bar is the same on both sides, but that's that's like the stats you need to be able to roll what these guys can do. And there's multiple here. So like on the back, there's the Tyrant, the Colossus, the Troll King, the Stone Giant, and the Ravager. Basically, they don't have hit locations. They just have bars of health. In the case, so like the Ravager's got a lot. I'm going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 18. Is that right? I feel like I can't count. No, so it's got 18 times 5, 50. So it's got 90 health. So the Ravager Abomination, the biggest one, just has 90 health, which is cool. I mean, so it's going to take a lot of damage. It's going to get walloped on. After that, we have Swarmer units. Oh, cool. Swarmer units, Hulk units. Okay, so on the ones that are pre-made, so under the Gnat Abomination, let's see if I can put it in there, it says Gnat Swarmer. So the type is Gnat. The name of it is a Gnat, but then it is a Swarmer unit. Meaning, like, you know how a Locust is a light mech. This Gnats are a Swarmer Abomination. Okay. And then, so we've got a handful of sheets that are blank. That are blank sheets for you to make your own. To make your own abominations to fight. That's neat. All right, I'm down with that. And then, of course, there's 2 sheets for those, because there's lots of different types. Lots of different... Oh, okay. Why is that different? Is this different? No. Okay, so there's multiple sets of these. I don't know if that leads me against my... So there are basically 2 copies of each of the sheets. Maybe so you could do Abomination or multiplayer, or I don't know. Whatever the case may be, these are... I will, when I get into the instruction book and stuff, I will look to see if these are supposed to be dry erase. They feel like they could be. They really do feel like they could be. All right, but so there's the Abominations, and then now we get into the mechs, the Gothic, the Gothic mechs themselves, and they're just mech sheets. So on this one, we've got an Urban Mech UMR60. Looking at it, it's got a small laser and an AC-10. Doesn't look like it has anything weird about it, because other than the art making it look kind of, you know, grimdark a little bit, it doesn't seem... Oh, okay, that's funny. They also changed the mech, the mech loadout sheet to have spikes and things on it. That's funny. But, like, I look at that, and I don't see anything that makes it stand out as not just a mech, just another mech. One side with a small laser AC-10, the other side we've got the 2 heavy machine guns and a binary laser cannon. Okay, so there's going to be some new technology in this box. All right, the binary laser cannon, also called a blazer, does... We've got the heavy machine gun. And then, it's a big gun. Does 16 heat and 12 damage with a DE next to it. I don't remember what that means. I will have to look that up. But so there is a possibility that some of these things might have some weapons that we are not used to seeing. Next up, we have the Fire Starter. The Fire Starter is covered in medium lasers, flamers, and machine guns. Okay. And its other version of this, the other version of the Fire Starter, has a couple of light blazers. Again, it's got that DE on there, so I'm gonna assume that that's gonna be a different kind of a new kind of weapon, maybe specifically good against abominations. So one of the things that I liked about the concept of the Battletech Gothic thing is that even if, you know, yeah, it's not canon, it's its own canon, it's its own universe, but it does. It gives you new toys to play with, because it is using the same systems as regular classic Battletech, and I believe it comes with Alpha Strike cards too. But we haven't gotten that far. Either way, it means that as long as you want to just want to have a good time and not, you know, not get all, you know, into your head about cross canon, maybe the next time that we play Battletech with my friends, I will bring some Gothic stuff, and we'll go, ha ha ha, you know, what it is. Next we have a Scorpion. The The standard version has a PPC and an SRM6. I love quads. I love the fact that quad mechs have a different layout. And then the other version, we have SRM6, and a binary laser cannon. Okay, so I will need to find out what that means. What the binary laser thing means. We have a Phoenix Hawk, fan favorite. Medium laser machine gun, large laser, medium laser machine gun. And then on the other side, the other one, the other Phoenix Hawk, has a bunch of medium lasers, but it also has a sword. Neat. It comes with a sword. So you can totally play out your Pacific Rim fantasies with the Phoenix Hawk PHX-1T. After that, we have a rifleman. This rifleman is a large laser, AC5, medium laser, and then the new thing, you guessed it, has a couple of binary laser cannons, and also looks really kind of cool, all gothicked up. All right. Then we have a Marauder, standard Marauder, PPC, medium laser, AC5. Nothing out of the ordinary on that, but does look kind of cool. Almost looks kind of District 9 insect-ish. And then the other version has a bunch of light blazers, a large laser, and a mace. Holy crap. Okay, also, the mace is obviously a melee weapon. Does 19 damage. So whatever those weapons can be, that is a monster. Although it doesn't look like it has a mace on the picture. I'm assuming it must have, maybe like it's just like reinforcement to use a weapon armor. I don't know. Whatever the case may be, it looks really cool. And actually, if you look closer, it almost has like mandibles on its head. That's neat. Then we've got our big fella, the Atlas. Standard Atlas is medium laser, LRM-20, SRM-6, AC-20, and a couple of medium lasers to the rear. So it's a big beefy dude. And the art for the standard one is very 40K Gothic. Like, I could see that paint style being on a Titan. And then the other side, we have the Atlas, the Atlas for this version. Mostly regular weapons, large lasers, some medium lasers, a bunch of missile racks, but it comes with a hatchet. So an Atlas with a hatchet is very scary. And then here's the picture of the other alternate paint scheme there. All right, and then we have a King Crab. King Crab, another big beefy fella. One of my personal favorites. Because this thing comes with a couple of AC-20s, an LRM-15, and a large laser. All right, and very standard looking. You know, it's got some slight modifications, but it's very standard. Okay, I like the other one. So this one has a couple of PVCs, a couple of light blazers, and AC-20. It's another big shooty monster, but the paint scheme that they gave it is really cool. Kind of got a white skull face almost splashed onto it. That's pretty neat. Yeah, that's cool. All right. And then Urban Mech. Another, yeah, it's got two sets of these cards too. So again, these cards are all going to be the same. We have two sets of these. It's not like there's 4 versions of each one. It's just double things. I'm assuming that allows for maybe mistakes if you like screw up one of the things. I don't know, but it does come with 2 sets of each set of cards, which, you know, good value. Maybe one for you to keep track of damage, and one for like your opponent to see what your guy is capable of. And then now we got, oh my god, that's heavy. Now, the rest of the box has a little tray here. So, I just pulled that thing that just fell off at us is the Battletech Gothic Reclamation and Rise. Is this a... Oh, it's a little novella by Herbert A. Bayes II. Neat. Okay, so it's a little novella. It says the endless war drags on. For hundreds of years, the 6 great realms of the human sphere have been locked in deadly stalemate, as their empires wither and crumble. Rampant biotech monstrosities, known as abominations, engineered to fight alongside their Battletech armies, have begun to inherit worlds lost to devastation and neglect. To many, these creatures, hybrids born of the mad science known as grafting, are mere animals, beasts built and bred only to fight and be discarded when their usefulness ends. To others, they can be so much more. When mech warriors of the Ironclad Alliance return to one of their long-fallen worlds on a holy mission of reclamation, what rises to meet them will herald a new phase in the endless war. Okay, so the abominations aren't aliens, really. I mean, they are. They're not like from another galaxy or something, like the monsters from Pacific Rim, like the kaiju. They're actually like created and can fight alongside. So that's pretty cool. I can't wait to read that to know a little bit more. At the top of this, we also get some, looks like Battletech Gothic decals. I generally don't use decals when I paint, so I don't know if I will be... Let's get a closer look at these. Let's get a closer look at these. All right, so because there's a little flappy thing, because they're color decals, and the little flappy thing is in the way. So it looks to me, like I'll get you a closer look, that the different realms are very similar to the houses. Like there's an Asian style dragon that could definitely be House Kurita. There's a mailed fist that could be Steiner. There's a sword behind a starburst that could be Davian. There's a Comstar, like, so there's a highly stylized version of all of the houses that we know and love. So it makes me wonder if those are the great realms. They're just slightly modified. So they're, oh, and that's gone forever. All right, one moment, please. Okay, and I almost tipped out of my chair just now. That would have been a blooper for the reel. So yeah, that's the symbols themselves, which I'm sure when we get into the book itself, they'll tell us more. But so even the like iconography is a little bit different, a little bit on the gothy side. What else do we have in here? We have oh man, can't have a Battletech product without a couple of dice. We have a card pack here, which I'm going to bet these are the Alpha Strike cards. So we got a shrink-wrapped card pack. Just looking at the first one, that shows off to me that it's probably an Alpha Strike card. Krista Griswold, rank Lieutenant, affiliation Ironclad Alliance. So yeah, affiliation Kingdoms of Avalon, affiliation Privateer, affiliation Collective of the Violet Crux. Okay, so yeah, so there's going to be new. It's not going to be Davian. It's going to be something different. You know, the first St. Ives Cavalry, Golden Unity. You know, so there's definitely. Well, this one's got the fifth Wrestlehog Legion from the Draconic Imperium. It's probably House Kurita. All right, so there's a bunch of Frederick Steiner, Hans Davian. Oh my gosh, the paint job on Hans Davian's King Crab could not get any more like British. And then we get into the stats themselves. We've got some abominations. We've got the ramp. Okay, so I don't know if they have made minis for these yet, for the actual like abominations, but like there's cards here for them. So Cool, cool, cool. All right, so there's a whole host. There's even, like I said, there's some Alpha Strike cards for some of the abominations. I'll be interested to see, to get these on the table and see what happens. We have a bag here of something, little plastic somethings. Oh, I think these are the little plastic bits. So yeah, if I pull out the tray, if I pull out the tray that's in here, there was a little bag of bits, because when you look at some of these models, so like we look at the Gothic Atlas, it's missing a head, it's missing the little things on the tops of his thighs. He's got a big hole in the middle of his chest, because we are supposed to be able to use these little bags of bits to augment them, to kind of make them into the models that we want them to be. You know, it allows you to personalize your Battletech Gothic models. So I'll set the bits aside because they're all in little sprues and I don't want to lose any of them. I already showed you the Atlas. So big beefy fella. Obviously, it's that same really good Battletech plastic. It's a classic classic Atlas pose. He just needs a head and some stuff. We've got our good friend the Irby, the urban mech. He doesn't have any extra bits to add to him, but he looks good. He's just a little spiky urban mech. Up here we have here's the Phoenix Hawk. Phoenix Hawk looks real good. Especially the back, like the jetpack part. Oh, and I like the feet. Let's get a good side shot of those feet. It's like raised up on talons. That's cool. The Marauder. Marauder doesn't have any extra bits. Maybe all those little extra bits are for the Atlas? So Marauder looks good. Spiky, huge, big guns, iconic looking. Yeah, that's cool. Rifleman, a spiky, almost squatted. It's kind of pulled in. It seems to be a little more. I can turn my light back on. Boop. It seems to be a little more like the weapons are more condensed. They're not quite as super long. The King Crab. Jesus, this guy is huge. Yeah, this guy's a beast. Just a monster. And he's got little, like back here you can see these little like tabards. I'll be able to put some like whatever house iconography, or I guess Great Realm iconography that I'm going to put in there. That's cool. And then we have the Scorpion. Scorpion is... Okay, so the Scorpion's a weird mech because he's on a raised up flight pole because his legs are too far out to sit on the base. That seems like a design flaw to me. That like you couldn't just pull the legs in a little shorter, maybe so that we can touch in the corners. I don't know. That seems weird to me to have him kind of hovering above, because he's not a VTOL. You know, he's above the base. That's very strange to me. But otherwise, a solid model. Just a weird thing. And then the last one is that Firestarter, which just is he's got those flamethrower hands, machine guns all around, another flamethrower in his belly, and I threw him on the ground. I mean, that's just a solid light mech. Oh, and he also has a flamethrower behind him. God, I guess I never realized he had a flamer. Like, look, so he's got the flamer arms. Let's see if we can get back a little further so you can see him. He's got the flamer arms themselves. and then there's one in the middle of the chest, like the spout. And then I turned him around and saw that there's also one of those flamers on his back too. So he's just a little flame throwing, just minion. I love it. I love it. All right, so those are the 8 models that it comes with. Those are the 8 mechs that it comes standard with the thing. And then it's got these the bags of bits, which again, the only one that look like it has bits to do things with are the... Oh, they're labeled. They're labeled. They're labeled with the... basically to style your atlas based off of the house that you want to play. We have the Realm of the Endless Dynasty, which has a couple of little doodads, a back banner cape thing, and a skull-faced drill head. Let's see if I can get that out. I'm going to get that out so you can see it. The skull-faced drill head is weird. I wouldn't want to make my atlas a cone head, but honestly, that helmet reminds me of Nagash from Warhammer Fantasy a million years ago. We have the Realm of the Blood Dragon, which again has a little backpack cape thing. Oh, cool. Okay, hang on. This might be the one that wins for me because of that back banner, or that back cape. So it comes with a cape piece to sit on the back, but if you look at the top of the cape piece, let's see if I can get that into focus. It's a coiled up dragon. So it comes with, it's got a dragon that sits right on his back, and then the head is of kind of a Shogun Oni mask style thing. So that might be winning out. Normally I'm pro Steiner, but that might win out. Realm of the Blazing Light has a sword style backpack and kind of an angel face. Let me pull out that helmet so you can see it. I'm gonna have a lot of extra random bits for my atlas. So it's got kind of a crowned faceplate. It almost reminds me of the faceplates on the Blood Angel Sanguinary Guard. Then we have the Realm of Blood and Steel, the Ironclad Alliance. That sounds up my speed, up my alley. The backpack, or the back cape thing, is just spiky kind of Gothic fence row. And the head is pretty cool, actually. Kind of a gladiator helmet. While the Draconic one is sort of winning out on style, that one's pretty close. And then the last one is the Realm of the Celestial Throne. The back cape piece has a fist holding a dagger. So that's kind of cool. Sort of a neat thing. And then the helmet is like a Roman legionnaire, like a centurion's crest. It's pretty cool. So I think, barring the actual storyline or the paint jobs that I want to give to them, I think we're probably leaning towards either the dragon, the Dragon Empire, or that Ironclad thing. All right, that's everything that was in the tray. Let's set that off to the side so I don't lose anything. And now the bottom of this is mostly books. We have the Battletech Gothic rulebook, which we will take a look at that in a second. We have the Battletech Gothic Universe Primer. We'll look at that after the rulebook. And then we have a bunch of handout type things. We've got, looks like an alternate universe. Oh, an alternate universe Battletech map. Everybody who plays Battletech loves the system, basically the territories of space. These are the different realms that are controlled. Cool. Oh, and on the back we have a how to recognize abominations versus what an atlas looks like. Cool. All right. House of Endless Dynasty. Unistar is Terror, so instead of Constar. House of Blood and Steel is Steiner. House of the Blood Dragon is Kurita. House of Blazing Light is Davian. And House of the Celestial Throne is Lao. So yeah, either Blood and Steel or Blood Dragon are probably where I'll end up building my atlas. We've got the ever famous cardstock cheat sheet of modifiers and heat and facing. And is there anything on here that makes this Gothic specific? No, I don't think so. I think this is just this is the cheat sheet just done in a Gothic format. Underneath here we have, we got some punch cards. We got terrain style tokens to modify the map with like buildings and things. Okay, always cool. All right. And then what I knew there would be something like this. We've got tokens for not just the mechs, but all of the abominations. So one for each of the mechs, and then looks like at least 2 or 3 of each. We've got Rampager, Tyrant, Crickets, Stone Giant, Troll King, Colossus. All right, so they basically, even if they don't ever make actual models for the Gothic stuff, you will still be able to field things because of tokens. Now, I will wonder, if you look close at the tokens on the abominations, there's a number of dots on there, and I don't know if that means how many of them are in the hex, or maybe how many hexes they're supposed to take up. I don't know that. Let's find out. All right, let's flip through the lore book first, the universe primer, because I just want to get a quick glimpse of how tightly packed this really is. So it's pretty big font. It is 72 pages long. But it's basically the story of how to create how Gothic became a thing. And this is particularly useful to me. Oh, it's got some cool art in here too. This is particularly, let's see if I can get you so I can show the audience more. These are softbound books. It's almost kind of like a magazine with a better binding. Shows some cool abominations. Goes real deep into that particular house. Then we go into the next one, the Realm of the Blazing Light. Oh, there's that fire starter. Cool, it's a great piece of art. Then we go into the Realm of the Celestial Throne. That's cool. Cool paint job down there on, I think, a Phoenix Hawk? Yeah, on a Phoenix Hawk. A Celestial Throne paint job. The Realm of the Endless Dynasty shows the building of stuff. I'll definitely have to read more of this story. The Realm of Blood and Steel, the Ironclad Alliance. Oh, those are cool. I do like those paint jobs. The half white, half blue. I do like those paint jobs with gold trim. That might win me out. Red and black is fun, but although all of my regular Battletech stuff is Ghost Bear, so I already do a bunch of blue and white. I may have to Gothic up some dragons. Which one was this? Oh, the Terra Noir, the Unistar Ascendancy. Very white with red highlight, Comstar style. I'll be interested to see the difference in the universe themselves, like, you know, the little things that changed. Oh, the Marauder states. So there's definitely some privateer type freeborn sort of stuff. Yeah, the privateers, their symbol is the skull with a bunch of coins in it. That's cool. Oh, that's neat. It's a Phoenix Hawk after fighting something, some kind of abomination. It's got its hand in it. Gross. Battle mechs and mech warriors. Sounds like we're gonna get maybe some stories. Abominations, great and small. So this talks about the lore of abominations. Oh, and then we get the iconic paint jobs. So we have the Blood Dragon paint job, the Realm of the Blazing Light. Oh, and it shows the different helmets and capes, so you can actually get a good look at the different the kind of Oni-esque helmet and that dragon cape. And then the Realm of the Shining Light has that sort of crown / sword on the back. The Realm of the Celestial Throne has the Roman Centurion, and then that hand holding the sword. And then the Endless Dynasty, which again, this one just doesn't do it for me. That Conehead is just right out. No, thank you, Conehead. And then the Realm of Blood and Steel, that blue-white. Yeah, it's still a really cool paint job, though. All right, so there is the Universe Primer. Now let's do a quick flip through the rule book. I mean, a lot of it's probably going to be the same as regular Battletech. You know, like, I expect it to be mostly similar. It goes through how to play Battletech. It goes through what the map means. It talks about heat and data, you know, critical hit tables, how to play the game, the heat phase, physical effect phase. So it plays just like regular Battletech. How to do initiative with unequal sides, movement, lateral shifting. Yeah, so this is literally just the same as a battle as playing classic Battletech or Alpha Strike, I'm sure. Nothing else has changed. Combat, you know, the Gator system. Which, by the way, for people who don't know Battletech, what Gator stands for is gunnery, attacker, target, other, and range. It's how you do all of the modifiers to hit somebody. All right. Indirect fire, attack modifiers. Yeah. So okay. So far, the first half of this whole book is all just regular Battletech. It just tells you how to play, making this box actually a really good starter box for somebody who hasn't played Battletech before, because this gives them everything that they need to play any version of Battletech so far. And then we've got damage. Okay, we know how all that goes. I'm going to flip through here real quick just to see if there's anything weird. Nope, nothing weird there. Destroying a mech, torso destruction, okay. Heat points, okay. These are all things that Battletech players know back to front. Damage to the warrior themselves, piloting skill rolls. Okay. Now we're like various falling down consciousness rolls. Abominations. Okay, so here we go. Now is the actual beginning of new stuff. Abomination units by size class. Okay, Abomination basics. Abominations come in two major forms. Creature-based abominations used to fight on the battlefield directly, and human-based abominations who occasionally appear as enhanced mech warriors. Okay. The rules here cover the creature-based battlefield abominations and Frayed separately. Frayed are the mech warriors. Abomination size classes outside of the Frayed. The major size classes of the battlefield abominations are, from smallest to largest, Swarmer, Hulk, Giant, and Titan. While analogous to the weight classes of battle mechs, these size classes only define the abomination's physical size and the strength of a single unit of monstrous creatures. An abomination size class sets the maximum number of monsters in a single unit of that size class, how many damage rows each monster in the unit possesses, their standing height for line of sight purposes, and any added bonuses to their target movement modifier due to their size and dispersal. Their size class also determines how many units of the same size class or smaller can stack in the same hex, and other special features unique to this unit's movement and combat abilities. These details are summarized in the abomination units by size class below. As suggested by the table, Swarmer, Hulk, and Giant size abominations are commonly deployed in squads, composed of more than one of the same monster per unit, while a Titan size unit is always just a single creature. Abomination units may lose individual monsters over the course of the battle, but as long as at least one of the unit's creatures remains, the unit remains active. So I was right, those dots on the token is the number of critters in that unit. Okay. Swarmers have 6 units per 6 monsters max. Hulks have 3, Giants have 2, Titans have 1. Rows of damage per monster 1, 2, 3, 5. Standing height is 1 for Swarmers and Hulks, 2 for Giants and Titans. Bonus target to hit them. It's actually 1 harder to hit Swarmers and Hulks. The other benefits. Swarmers and Hulks cannot go prone, so they cannot get knocked down. And Giants and Titans must declare they're facing, so they have to show which direction they're actually pointed to. That's cool. All right. Abomination skills. They get Animelee, short for Animal Melee, and Gunnery for any ranged combats that they have. All right. Default abomination skill ratings, they have a 4 in each, so they're slightly better than a standard Intersphere pilot for piloting's sake. Unless otherwise stated in the scenario being played, all abomination units in play receive these ratings. Okay. Integrating abominations into Battletech. When playing a game of Battletech that involves abominations, each unit of abomination counts as a single element within the player's force. So it's just like elementals or infantry or anything like that. Okay. Abomination-only forces, while deadly and clever, battlefield abominations do not possess human-level intelligence and intuition, but instead tend to rely on human handlers who train them. It is rare for abominations to appear in battle without some human handlers present nearby, typically as passengers within a battle mech's cockpit. In any circumstance where the force is entirely comprised of abomination units, be it from the start of the scenario or due to losses during gameplay, the abomination-only force suffers a -4 modifier to its initiative. Okay, so basically it has worse initiative if you brought all abominations, so you didn't bring any human pilots to help. That's good to know. Movement modes, they have ground, they have They have jumping, they have VTOL movement for the ones that can fly, hovering, landing, all that stuff seems normal. Movement-based combat modifiers, stacking. Due to the smaller size relative to battle mechs, Swarmer and Hulk type abominations may occupy the same hex as a mech, friend or foe, but Giant and Titan types cannot. Okay, so basically you can put multiple counters of the same creature. At the end of all movement phases, a single hex can be occupied by up to 6 Swarmer-type abomination units, 3 Hulk-type abomination units, 2 Giant-type abomination units, or a single Titan-type abomination unit. All right, so it just allows you to stack a bunch of stuff up if you want to. Okay. Abomination weapon attacks. Looks like everything is roughly the same as Battletech. Nothing's weird here as far as I can tell. Hit locations. It's just like applying to. I should probably let you guys sit here and look at something cool rather than the side of my head. Random creature numbers, okay, it's the same as an elemental. Mob hobble target numbers. All right, so what does hobbling mean? Fighting off hobble attack. Oh, okay. Hobbled attacks basically. So mob attacks are just you're jumping and crawling all over them. Hobble attacks are specifically trying to take down their legs. Okay. Falling, crashing, and drowning abominations. Water abomination units that fall or crash into water terrain. Once fully submerged, a sinking abomination cannot maneuver until it reaches the floor of the water. Okay. Drowning. Once a sinking abomination unit descends to a depth of 1 level or more greater than its height, it begins drowning. Drowning abominations suffer 2d6 damage per turn, distributed in 2-point groups. So they literally can't, like, that is a drawback to being an abomination. You can't go diving underwater. But the benefit of that is heat. Abomination units do not track heat, and thus skip the heat phase. So that's significant. No matter what they're shooting, they always can shoot it. Frayed mech warriors, sorry, the pilot abominations. Frayed humans are what result when the same grafting processes used to make combat abominations are used to augment humans instead. Grafting modified humans who pilot battle mechs are commonly known as pilot abominations or frayed mech warriors. As they possess human-level intelligence and awareness, frayed are far more easily trained in complex procedures than bestial monsters, but they still suffer from certain limitations that can make them less reliable than ordinary humans. In gameplay, frayed mech warriors function like ordinary human mech warriors, but with the following special modifications. They have improved reflexes, so they have an automatic -1 modifier to both gunnery and piloting. So they start off at 3/3. That's really good. Limited initiative. Despite their advantages in performance, frayed mech warriors are comparatively impaired when it comes to command level functions, and thus rely heavily on normal human officers to make their tactical decisions. This translates into a -2 initiative modifier for any force, either led by mechs piloted by frayed mech warriors, or one in which all fielded mechs have frayed pilots. So they will have -2 initiative. They trade for that better gunnery and piloting. All right. Ultraviolet sensitivity. Frayed mech warriors tend to suffer from the same ultraviolet sensitivity as their more monstrous counterparts. As such, they are susceptible to any planetary conditions modifiers for night, glaring sun, and solar flares. Laser weapons in dazzle mode inflict double the pilot damage to frayed mech warriors, but not to their battle mechs. Only when they strike their battle mech's head location. Okay, cool. So dazzle mode lasers do more damage because they're light sensitive. Neat. Okay. Supplemental rules. Dazzle mode lasers. In Battletech Gothic, dazzle mode is a secondary setting for all mech-mounted laser weapons, including blazers. That allows mech warriors to reduce their heat load at a sharp cost in anti-mech sharp firepower. Dazzle mode attenuates all of the battle mech's lasers to a less heat-sensitive setting in the ultraviolet range. At this level, the weapon remains fully effective against abominations, but have their power against more heavily armored units. Okay, cool. So a battle mech may declare that they're switching their lasers mode only during the end phase. While dazzle mode is active, all laser weapons, including blazers, reduce the heat they generate by half, rounding down to a minimum of 0 heat. Lasers in dazzle mode are also reduced to half of their normal damage value, rounded down to a minimum of 1, but only when attacking battle mechs. Against abominations, lasers in dazzle mode retain their full damage value. Abomination-mounted laser weapons do not have dazzle mode settings. Okay, it's good to know. Frayed mech warriors, if a laser weapon... Oh, that we were just talking about. They take 2 damage instead of 1 if they take a head hit from a dazzle mode laser. Okay? Expanded flamers. In basic gameplay, flamers deliver damage to their targets like any other weapon system. This, however, is a simplification of their function. Such weapons are also notoriously lethal against flesh and blood, and may be also used to spike the heat levels of opposing mechs. The following expanded rules allow blah blah. So ammunition. By default, flamers do not require ammunition. External heat. Every time a flamer is fired, before the attack roll is made, the player may announce they are applying heat to the target, instead of the weapon's normal damage value. The amount of heat applied by the weapon is the same as the weapon's damage value. Against mechs, this heat also counts as an outside source. Flamers versus Abominations. Abominations do not track heat, but while their flesh is armored and insulated, they remain more susceptible to the incendiary effects of flamers than mechs. Instead of suffering normal damage or external heat effects, any Abomination unit hit by a flamer will suffer 2d6 points of damage, divided against the unit in 5-point clusters like an LRM. Ooh, okay, so that's kind of scary. Kind of scary. Okay. Abomination handlers, the individual's presence on the battlefield. Oh, so you could actually get a handler. You basically bring a dude that just kind of hangs out nearby, and they applies a -1 modifier to the base and melee and gunnery skill ratings. So if you put a handler with an abomination, they get slightly better. Handlers in combat, they're typically not mech warriors. In any circumstance where the mech warrior must make a consciousness check, a handler riding along with them must also make a consciousness check. Okay, so it's just basically a secondary pilot kind of thing. Abominations unknown. The abomination units featured in this box set are just a sampling of the vast array of creatures that can come out of the labs and training pens of the Great Realm militaries. Unlike most battle mechs, which have been designed and built to specifications for decades or centuries since the Star League, it can be difficult to know a given abomination's capabilities at a glance. To facilitate this ambiguity, the abomination unit punch-outs provided in this box set feature an image of the creature type on one side, with a generic monster icon on the other. In gameplay featuring Abomination... Okay, this is kind of cool. In gameplay featuring Abomination units, players using the Abomination Unknown rule may place any to all of their Abomination units punch-outs on the board, with the generic monster facing up, as soon as the creature unit is introduced. This includes not only units placed at the start of the game, but also those that might appear on the map later, whether reinforcements or from hiding, as discussed in some of the scenarios. While the generic icon remains face up, the exact type of Abomination unit remains unknown to the opponent, but not its position or nature as an Abomination unit. Any opposing unit may determine an unknown Abomination unit's type by making a 2d6 roll anytime they are within 20 hexes of the unnamed unit and have line of sight to them. The target number for this ID check is equal to the spotting unit's piloting or melee skill, with the additional modifiers as shown in the animation, so that table earlier. When they're revealed, the punch-out is then flipped over so the creature image can be seen. Only one opposing unit needs to make a successful ID check in this way to reveal. So it's like the decoy tokens from Space Hulk, almost. That's pretty rad. I like that. And then we get some scenarios. So we got some scenarios, bunch of scenarios. Weapons and equipment. All right. So, autocannons, anti-mech rifles, flamers, lasers, blazers. Binary lasers, more commonly known as blazers, are lasers with 2 focus emitters instead of 1. These weapons are slightly more compact than 2 separate lasers of comparable size, but their twin-core nature results in twice the heat load for only 50% increase in damage yield. Dazzle mode was invented with these weapons in mind. Okay, so they're higher heat because you're probably going to want to put them in dazzle mode quite often. Okay. Machine guns, missile and rocket launchers, long-range missiles, short-range missiles, rocket launchers, particle projection cannons, physical weapons. Okay. And then there's a list of all the various things. Biotechnical readout. Okay, yeah, these are just... This is just data on the various... how they were made, what they look like. This is just the different abominations. The Troll King and the Colossus, a couple of kind of mechs. And then the Stone Giant and the Ravager, which the Ravager straight up looks like a biological, like a biomech Tarask. It's cool though. And then we got technical readout talking about the Firestarter, the Scorpions, the various mechs that we all know and love with the same art from the cards. Then some tables. And then that's it. And that is the Battletech Gothic. That is the contents of the Battletech Gothic box. For it being basically an Elseworlds product that I will probably sneak onto the Battletech table with my friends because it will be a fun foray. Hell, I may try and bring Abominations and stuff once and go, okay, there we go. Welcome to me playing goofy things. But I really like it. I look forward to getting it on the table. I look forward to painting at least one of the cool Battletech things, and I hope that they make Abomination models specific, maybe not for the little guys, but definitely for like the big Titans and the big scaries. I'm interested in getting on the table and seeing how this plays, but I'm very for a price tag of only, I believe it was only $100. Yeah, the MSRP is $100. 8 full class models, a bunch of tokens, a map, all the books, all the lore, the punch outs. It's a solid set. It's a solid set, and I think especially if someone has never played Battletech and doesn't have like 30 years of like ingrown, Battletech bias, I think this would be a cool thing to try. And for people who do have and love a lot of Battletech, I think you should also give it a try. I think that it's worth looking into, and anytime that you can have cool new assets to play your game, take the chance. It's awesome. I love it, and I look forward to doing more with it in multiple levels. More on that in the future. For now, just, please be safe. I hope you enjoyed the unboxing. Like, share, subscribe, comment below to be part of the prize raffle for this month. Be safe, get your shots, wash your hands, hug your loved ones, drive safe, please. Just try and leave every room a little happier than when you got there. And I think that we're going to be all right. Again, just be safe, have fun, and play some games. I'm gonna.